All right, let's dive into a business mystery that on the surface seems to defy all logic. It's a story about a doctor, a patient, and a choice that just makes absolutely no sense. At first, let's get into it.
So, here's the puzzle. Just imagine this. You need a service, you get offered a really kind discount, but you turn it down. Instead, you go somewhere else and you willingly pay the full premium price. Why on earth would anyone do that? I mean, what could possibly be more valuable than saving money?
So this all starts with a doctor, Dr. Pavan. One day, a patient comes into his clinic and just opens up. I mean, he shares everything. The pressure from his family, his financial stress, the whole 9 yards. He's clearly worried and looking for some help.
Now, Dr. Pavan, hearing this story, does something genuinely kind. He significantly cuts the cost of the treatment. And the patient? He's so grateful, thanks the doctor, and says he'll talk it over with his family and be right back to get started. Seems like a perfect win-win, right?
But he doesn't. Days go by, then weeks, and that same patient who seems so grateful, he's just vanished. No call, no follow-up. He's a ghost. And this is where the mystery really starts to get interesting.
And then comes the real shocker. A little while later, Dr. Pavan finds out that the very same patient is getting treatment at a totally different clinic. And get this, he's not there for a discount. He's a premium patient who paid the entire cost up front. So the kind gesture was rejected for a higher price. How is that even possible? So, you can imagine Dr. Pavan is racking his brain. He starts blaming all the usual suspects, the things we always focus on in business. Was my clinic too small? Or the interior is not fancy enough? Maybe it was because a different doctor did the consultation over there. He was chasing down all these clues, but every single one of them was a dead end.
The real reason? Well, it had nothing to do with the size of the clinic or how nice the furniture was. It wasn't something you could buy or renovate. The answer was something much more basic, much more human, and honestly, way more powerful.
Turns out, it all came down to these 5 simple words. The patient went to that other clinic because a trusted friend told him she is the best doctor. That was it. That was the entire sales pitch. One single sentence from someone he trusted. And this gets us to the absolute core of this whole story. That recommendation wasn't about features or price. It was a pure transfer of trust. And when trust is on the table, it completely changes the game. It gets rid of hesitation, it stops all the back and forth bargaining, and it makes people act now. Trust, not the discount, was the real currency here.
Okay, so we've kind of solved the first mystery. A powerful recommendation gets someone in the door, ready to pay a premium. But that's just the beginning of the story, right? How does a business take that little seed of trust and actually grow it into real, lasting confidence?
Well, the clinic that won him over didn't just rely on that recommendation. They took it to the next level with radical transparency. First, they actually record the entire consultation, showing the diagnosis and the whole discussion. Then, and this is the brilliant part, they give that recording directly to the patient. This simple act empowers them. Now they can go home and show their family exactly what the doctor saw, explaining the whole situation perfectly. The whole process just builds this incredible confidence through total clarity and openness.
So when you boil it all down, the real engine for growth isn't what we usually think. It's not the lowest price or the fanciest office. That stuff is superficial. Real, sustainable growth is built on something deeper, a consistent, positive experience for everyone, absolute clarity in every single conversation, and a commitment to being completely transparent. It's about making people feel seen, heard, and totally informed.
And this is what brings us full circle. It's that consistency, that clarity, and that transparency that create the powerful, authentic word of mouth that brought the patient in to begin with. It becomes this amazing system that doesn't just hope for trust, it actively manufactures it, day in and day out with every single person.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on, and it applies to any field. Are you just focused on the surface-level stuff of your business? The sales, the discounts, the appearance? Or are you focused on building that invisible, unshakable foundation that truly matters, a reputation for trust? Because as we've just seen, that might be the most valuable thing you could